We're working developing news out of the capital city. The Occupy Providence protesters have voted to leave Burnside Park once the city opens a day shelter for the homeless. Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen is there now live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom.
The occupiers just moments ago passed that proposal to leave Burnside Park here, but the big question still remains: when? Over 2 hours of discussion, all about whether or not to leave Burnside Park.
Nothing about this says that we're done with occupying parks, first of all, but it definitely says we're certainly not done finding really cool and interesting ways to redress our grievances.
Occupy Providence is one of the few holdouts nationally to remain in a park, but Commissioner Stephen Perry came by to say they must leave eventually.
But we do have to come to an end game and an end date that they'll vacate. And we'll work through a process that's civil and legal.
The proposal the protesters voted on was to leave the park January 2nd, as long as the city set up a temporary homeless day shelter for the 3 coldest months of winter. But that, of course, would mean the city of Providence would have to agree.
We've considered all conditions, from the beginning until this point and in the future as well.
Whether the occupation ends in a few weeks or not, protesters held firm that their movement will continue. Now, that January 2nd deadline to leave the park is no longer in effect. Occupiers say they won't leave the park until that temporary homeless shelter is officially set up and running, but we now need to see if the city will agree to open up that homeless shelter. Live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.